Hi, I hope that everyone's doing fine today. We're going to talk about commonly confused words. So I'm going to ask you two questions. All right, so when you're tired, do you lay down? That's Lay, or lie down? Lie. Do you lay down or do you lie down? All right, so think about that for a second. Now, I'm going to be honest. When I'm talking to my family and my friends, I'm going to basically say, hey guys, I'm getting ready to lay down. So that's just common phrases that we use with people that we're close to. But if I'm writing something, I'm going to write lie. And the correct word to use is lie, Lie. Now, lie is one of those words that has different meanings. And we'll talk about that in just a little bit. But when you lay something down, lay, Lay, means you're going to lay something down. But when you lie doesn't have to have an object attached to it, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to lie my body down. But if I lay, I'm laying something down. I'm going to lay the blanket across the bed, but I'm going to lie myself across the bed, if that makes it any better. All right, so here's the next sentence. After dinner, do you eat dessert, Desert, or dessert, Dessert? Now, by me reading it, you can hear the difference. But if you were looking at the words in a written text, you may be confused. Because when you look at the word dessert compared to the word desert, the word desert looks like it should be dessert. And the word dessert looks like it should be pronounced desert. But it's not. And that's just the way English is. Because, of course, we know that a lot of the words that we have in our English language was borrowed from other languages or different cultures. But when you see it in writing, the word dessert should be spelled Dessert. So that is dessert. Okay? All right, so why am I talking about this? Of course, like I mentioned, this topic is related to commonly confused words. So the purpose of this lesson, or this series of lessons, will be to alert you to everyday words, things that we say, words that we use every single day that trip us up. And the other purpose is to help you understand the differences between certain words that people commonly or often confuse. So, yes, even like I mentioned, if I am having like a basic conversation with a friend, family, whatnot, someone I'm close with, I'm not gonna, use correct English. I'm gonna use slang, or I'm not gonna think about. I'm actually not gonna think about the words I'm using, but when it comes to writing them down to formally use them, yes. If I'm in a formal situation, yes, I'm gonna think about the words that I'm using. If I'm writing these words, yes, I'm going to hopefully use the correct words or word. So we want to make sure that we're using the correct words in our writing, and we're also using it when we are speaking to one another. We just want to make sure that we're using the correct words, if that makes any sense, okay? All right, so every week you'll get at least 10 phrases. So there'll either be a single word, or it'll be like two words or two or more words that are commonly confused, okay? So for this segment, I'm going to go over 5. Go over 5 at a time, but there'll be 10 for each week, if that makes any sense. All right, so we're going to start off with my favorite one that people often confuse, and it is accept and accept. All right, so accept, ACCEPT, accept. So accept means to receive willingly. In other words, I'm using this example. Use it in this example. I will accept that award. On the other hand, we have the word accept. EXCEPT. And the word accept is a preposition, and it means to exclude or excluding. So here's my definition for accept. All Western languages except English. Another example. All of the teachers went to the conference except Miss Tyner. The word accept. So you're not including, you're excluding that person, thing, or that idea. Okay? So that was accept and accept. The next word I want to point out is all right. So, all right. So somebody's saying, well, what about all right? Well, the term all right, a lot of people confuse all right and they make up this other word. And the other word is all right. So all right is two separate words. The phrase all right. So everything is all right. Everything is all right with me. All right is not one word. It's two separate words. Two. But sometimes we write it, we put it all together, and this is how we spell it. We spell it ALRIGHT. And that is not right. All right is two different words. It's the word all, ALL, and the word right, RIGHT. And that is the way it should be spelled. Okay? All right. Everything is all right with me. All right, so the next word is another one that is oftenly, I'm going to say it's misspelled because there is no, I'm going to put it this way. I used to use this word incorrectly. And there's no other way of doing it but just doing it correctly. Okay? So the word is a lot. And as simple as that word may seem, a lot of people do not spell a lot correctly. A lot, just like the other example, is two actual words. The word a, there's a space, and the word lot. So a and then LOT. So a lot is always two words. And the term a lot means a large number or amount. Or it could also mean to a great extent. Here are some examples. There were a lot of voters. Another example. He misses her a lot. He misses her a lot. A note I want to use for the term a lot is this is a phrase that you would not use if you were writing, let's say, a term paper or something that's very formal. You would probably use it you could use it in your essays that you're turning to your teachers. But anything that is formal, do not use a lot, because a lot is an informal phrase. Like when we say yay or yeah, you wouldn't if you were typing a paper to turn in for like your senior project, you would not write yay or terms like, yeah, I got the paper done. You would say yes. So it's in that terms of, I would say, slang. It's not really slang, but I would say stay away from it if you're writing like your term papers or anything that's formal. In other words, you would not use it on a college application. How about that? All right, so our next set of words, there are three, are sight, sight, and sight. So sight, C-I-T-E, sight, S-I-G-H-T, and sight, S-I-T-E. Now, these three terms, I would put them in the grouping of homonyms, homonyms and homophones. And to be honest, we probably should have a lesson on using homonyms, homographs, homophones, and then there's another term that is called heteronyms. All of those words kind of fit in that big blanket of words that are often confused. So there's some you can get away with. Like if it's a homonym, it can have the same, not only does it have the same sound, but also has the same spelling. But as you can tell, there are words that have the same sound, but they do not have the same spelling and they do not have the same meaning. So these three terms actually would fall in the grouping of homophones because they have different spellings, different meanings, but they have the same sound. Okay? So they are homophones. Phones. Homophones. So you have the prefix homo or homo, which means same, and then phones, sound. So same sounds. They have the same sound, same pronunciation, but different spellings. Okay? So going back to sight, sight, and sight. The word cite, C-I-T-E, means to quote something. So when you're writing a research paper, you would cite, C-I-T-E, cite your sources. Please cite your sources. The next one is sight, S-I-G-H-T. And we know that sight refers to the act of seeing or something that is seen. So, for example, that was an appalling sight. The last one, of course, is site, S-I-T-E, and that's a place. It's like when you have the word website, it's a place on the web. So, site is a place. And here's my example. The famous site of the Civil War is over there. That doesn't make, I mean, it's a simple sentence, but the word site means the place. In other words, the place. Okay? So site, site, and site. Make sure you're using the correct word. Now, a lot of people a lot of them do not really get CITE confused with site, SIGT, SIGHT. But the word CIT and SIT, they are confused a lot. And then when individuals do not know how to spell sight, like SIGHT, they will confuse it with SITE. So make sure you're using the correct word. Okay? Last but not least for today's session is could of. Could, COULD, and the word of. Now, could have is not right. And when I look at a lot of my students' writings, they have, could have, could have, could have, or must have. Must have is another one, or should have. These words are not, this is not correct. You should have. Could is to be linked with the word have. It should be could have. Could have been. Could have is what you should have. A lot of students do not realize this is just like I'm saying, this is slang. You could have, you could have, you could have, could have, could have, could have. So what you're really saying is the have, and you're making it, and you're cutting off the first part of the word have. So you're really trying to say could have, but you just made a total different word. So you're saying could have instead of could have, if that makes any sense. Do not use could have. Use could have. Put the have in there, because could have is not correct. It's not correct grammar. When you're turning in papers to your teachers, you should not have could have. I could have made a good grade. Well, you could have made a good grade, but we need to work on your grammar. And do I see this a lot? Yes, I do. Have I talked about it a lot? Yes, I have. Are some of you still using could have? Yes, you are. We are not going to keep using could have. Okay? All right. So that is the end of my list for today. So that was, I believe, 5 terms. This is part A. The next time, it will be the next 5. Okay? Have a good one.